What's up, everybody? Dark 1985. There's levels to this. All right, guys, check this out, man. I was contemplating how I wanted to do this video because I was hesitant on calling this a review, a Horizon Forbidden West review. So I decided to call this my Horizon Forbidden West experience. And I think that's a little bit better because we could have this chat and there's no real judgment because it's just my experience with the game, okay? So whether you like Horizon or not, it really doesn't matter. You're just here to hear what I was able to experience when I played this game. Okay. So right off the bat, I played the first one on the PS4 Pro, Horizon Zero Dawn, not too long ago, and I beat it. And I gotta tell you, man, I really, really enjoyed that game. Now I know a lot of people out there were saying that to them it was very boring, that to them they could just couldn't get into it, that they really tried to get into it, but they just couldn't. I'm gonna tell you this. The first game to me was better than the second game. So if you didn't like the first game, I highly doubt that you're going to like the second game. But if you did like the first game, depending on how you play the second game, you might like it a little bit more or like a little bit less. So again, my experience. I'm going to try to base it around three main topics or three main areas of focus just so that we have some type of structure. So we'll go with graphics, we'll go with gameplay. Oh, we'll do four. Gameplay, we'll do story, and then we'll do pacing. Okay? And pacing is very important. I mean, all four of them are important, but let's talk about it. So, graphics. Every single game has their own artistic style, right? So not just because a game doesn't look photorealistic doesn't mean that it doesn't look good. And just because the games could be like so shaded and they could still look good, right? Depends what the artistic style is. This game, the graphics of this game, and again, I played it on the PS4 Pro, is phenomenal. It's amazing. The game looks great. Just just like every other game, of course, there's imperfections here and there. But when you really look at the game, for me, again, my experience with the game, I was blown away by the beautiful world more than once. The machines looked great, the environment looked great, water looked great. I mean, I was impressed, and I'm playing on a PS4 Pro, so the world looked beautiful. Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one, looked good as well. So this second one definitely does that better, and it looks great. It looks beautiful. So graphically, very impressive. Definitely, I don't like using numbers, but 10 out of 10 for sure. Okay. Gameplay was next. I played the game on the PS4 Pro, so I was playing at 30 frames per second, so I was limited. But even though I was playing at 30 frames, I don't know what they did with motion blur or whatever, but the game still felt incredibly smooth. The gameplay was very responsive. Every once in a while, I'm not gonna lie, Aloy feels a little clunky, right? Especially coming from the game that I played before I played this one, I played Control, where Control is a shooter game, which but it still moves a lot faster, and you're picking up things and you're throwing it, and it felt different. And obviously in Control, once you reach that certain area, you can fly and stuff, you can dash. So, I mean, so coming from a game like that and then playing this, where the jumping and the dodging is a little bit more, you got to be more precise with it. It didn't feel as smooth as it could be, and I don't mean like framework wise. I mean just her movements could be a little clunky. I wish that the grapple hook was used a lot more in the game. I know for me it felt kind of weird that only certain ledges I could use the grapple hook on, and the grapple hook was pretty much only used to open up vents. Like I wish I could use it more like on machines and stuff, and I don't know, or on like human enemies and stuff like that. You know what? I didn't even try. Could you use it on human enemies? I'm gonna give that a shot. So don't quote me on that. I'm gonna try to use it on human enemies and see if I can actually use it. If you already know, go ahead and answer in the comments so somebody else could see this. But the gameplay was good. The gameplay in the first one to me was better because it was a new element, right? So this was pretty much more of the same, but it's still good. It was still good. Not great or amazing like the graphics were. All right. Then we go on and we move on to story. Okay. The story of the game, it's good. It's the story is okay. Again, this first game I feel set the bar up really high because you didn't know what was going on. You were trying to figure out how Aloy came to be, and then when you find out what she is, it blows your mind. And then when you find out what Zero Dawn is, it blows your mind. It explains how the machines are there. It explains how this one system that was meant to eliminate everything when there was a malfunction in the way everything was going went rogue and decided that it was just gonna like it just it did a really good job. In this game, you're going and you're finding specific elements of Gaia. No, I'm not trying to spoil it for you. And I mean, is it for whatever reason it wasn't as captivating again in my experience to the first one, right? The problem that I had, the story overall would have been better for me if the last thing I'm going to talk about, if the pacing was better of this game. So, graphics amazing, gameplay good, story good, pacing of this game horrible. I couldn't wait to finish the game. I couldn't wait to be done with the game. And that's something that didn't happen with the first one. Understand, I wanted to finish the game. So it's not like I wanted to stop playing it. And I'm glad that I felt satisfied once I did finish it. The one game that I finished and I was extremely dissatisfied that I grinded so hard to play was Grand Theft Auto 4. Like I know some people love that game. I that game taught me a very valuable lesson. Once I lose interest in a game, I will not keep grinding for it because you reach the end and then you don't feel satisfied. It's horrible. Pacing is very important for a game. And this is the mistake that I did. You have to know what type of player you are. I am not a side mission type of player. The only game that I've played all the side missions and like literally did everything in the side mission was Halo Infinite. And I don't even know how that game got me to do it, but it did. This game though, however, the reason the side missions felt some of the side missions are pretty long and they definitely make you deviate from the actual story. So you might be going to this town or this village or whatever or this settlement or whatever to meet this person, and then you find somebody that tells you, "Hey, so such and such is lost over here. Can you go look for them?" But it has nothing to do with the main story. And this is again how I feel about games that have side missions and stuff like that, especially elaborate side missions with, because you could get lost with these side missions, and some people like that. But this is how I feel. If you're gonna have side missions, the side missions should serve to help you level up and reach a level higher than what the main missions require, right? It should be a bonus for you to do a side mission. Side missions shouldn't be borderline required to even meet the level of the game. So I'll give you an example. This game has side missions, has errands, has tasks, has challenges, all this other stuff. But it's got the main quest and the side missions. I ran across, just from speaking to people, I completed 5 side missions, but I actually had 11 in my queue. So I had 5 out of the 11. And there's people that I didn't even talk to because you'll see as you play through the game, like green, what do they call? Exclamation marks above people's heads. And typically that can mean that that person's probably going to give you a side mission. Towards the end of the game, I skipped all that. But, anyways, I completed 5 out of 11 side missions. And when I got to the last main mission, you were required to be a level 35. I was a level 28. Again, if I completed all the main missions, you should at least be the level of that mission. Because it's not like I didn't kill other machines as I was going to the main missions from time to time, right? It's not like I fast traveled everywhere. You can't fast travel to new points. So you have to so in some of these the distance is ridiculous. You gotta walk a lot, right? But as you're walking, the world looks so beautiful that I didn't mind it. And then you're fighting new machines and stuff, and I fought some new machines, but it still didn't level me up the way that I thought it would have. So I did some side missions, and when I saw that the side missions were just the pacing just messed up the pacing for me, that's when I stopped doing the side missions. The pacing of this game for me got so bad that I stopped looking at all the other dialogue options. So when you're speaking with a character, one character could have like five different dialogue options, and they'll tell you about this, they'll tell you about that, they'll tell you about anything. So you can ask the NPCs questions and stuff like that. And I got to the point where I just wanted to get straight to the point, straight to the point. And it sucks because towards the end of the game, when I'm doing a lot of main missions, I know that I missed a lot of the lore because I just didn't, I was tired. I didn't want to sit through it anymore. The last fight, the last final boss fight, and all this is I have it up on Twitch so if you guys want to see it. The boss fight I actually put up on YouTube. But the last final boss fight, if I'm not mistaken, I was again level 28. Maybe I was less than the level 28 because I'm level 28 now. Maybe I was level 25, and she was level 43. Why? Again, doing side missions should allow you to quote unquote BOP. That should be the reward. In this game, I felt like it was better for you to just go about killing machines, getting experience points doing that, than it was for actually doing some of these side missions. The pacing of the game. So many times even right now, that's the end of the game. I'll go to my inventory and see all the stuff that I have, and it's so difficult, and it's so many things that I can't upgrade. Like I don't even think I have one armor completely upgraded. Yet I have a whole bunch of machine parts and equipment that I don't even really need. And it's like, why? Do you want me to go out there and hunt for the rest of this? Like it couldn't be along the trail. It's a long game, guys. It's a long game, especially if you're reading, not reading, especially if you're clicking on every single dialogue. Oh my God, the game is long. But I feel like it's lost its pacing. What saves the game overall is this. There's a lot of moments in between that'll leave you in shock and awe. There's nothing as impressive as, and I know it sounds crazy, but there's nothing as impressive as when you take down a massive machine like the turtle or the freaking the alligators or the elephants, like the freaking massive, or or the raptor, the T-Rex. Like when you take this stuff down and you're just battling, and you're aiming with precision, and you're hitting specific parts, and you see it blow up. There's nothing that gives you that satisfying feeling like something like that. The boss fights are also really good and challenging. Lord knows that last boss fight, especially when you show up to level 25 or whatever it was that I was to level 43. Um, those parts help the game stick together. But overall, I'm gonna tell you this: if you did not like the first one, you're not gonna like this one. But if you're someone like me that really cares about the pacing of a game, I would tell you play this game, stick to the main missions first, maybe a side mission here or there that looks really interesting to you, right? Like I wish I would have done the one side mission where I could give this dude a mechanical arm, but I didn't by that point I was just so tired. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, man. I just gotta finish this freaking game. Um, so do the side missions that really seem like you would care about, but stick to the main story and the pacing might be better for you. So overall, my Horizon Forbidden West experience overall was really good. Extremely impressed by what Gorilla was able to do with the PS4 Pro. So, and I saw it on the on my son's PS5, and the game looks phenomenal, looks beautiful. Runs really well at 60 frames on the PS5 because I got to play it on that for a little bit. But I beat the game on the PS4 Pro, and I played the majority of the game on the PS4 Pro. And I would definitely say if you got a PS4 Pro and you're thinking about getting this game and you're hesitant, you don't have to hesitate. It's a really good game. As far as bugs go, I only experienced maybe 3 to 4 bugs. And the worst bug that I experienced was in the middle of a sequence where you're escaping like this underground, uh, it's like an underground cave where Pharaoh is at, and it's like breaking down or whatever. And the game literally messed up. It messed up. It broke immersion. Yeah, it really did. And I was doing it live on stream. Everybody said the same thing. Like it just broke immersion. I literally had to reload from a last save point, which really sucked. The other glitches that I faced was I was like running down the stairs a few times and I would just like fall through the stairs and like there'd be no floor and you just fall and keep falling and keep falling and keep falling and then whatever. But that only happened a few times. So it's not like this huge glitchy mess or whatever. It's really not. Just a few times I fell through stairs and then that one time where it broke immersion. But that's about it. So is it for you? I don't know. Now that I've played it and I beat it, I think the review scores that came out for it are pretty accurate. It's a for those that like it, it's gonna be a great game. Nothing crazy, nothing special, nothing amazing, and it's not better than the first one. Let me know what you guys think. Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this. We out. Peace.